Hey guys, it's Alex here, Blue Moon Rising TV. I'm joined by Gaz. We've just played each other at football for a Derby Day challenge over on Full Time Devils. You should go and check it out. But over here on Blue Moon Rising TV today, we're going to be going through a Manchester City versus Manchester United combined 11 of all the current squads, injured and available or whatever. So let's start, best 11, goalkeeper. I've got a feeling you're going to say David De Gea.
I think he's the only option there, isn't he? There can't be any argument there. David De Gea, one of the best goalers in the world.
I mean, Willy Caballero is great. Joe Hart's out on loan. Claudio Bravo hasn't played for City at present. So straight at the top, I'm going to give you David De Gea.
Yeah,
not going to waste time arguing that one. Now let's go. We're going 4 at the back.
Yeah, got to be 4 at the back.
All right, left back. Are you having Luke Shaw?
I think Luke Shaw is one of the best. In fact, it is the best young fullback in the world. I think he's potentially one of the best fullbacks, full stop, in the world. He started last season sensationally before the injury, and then this season he's looked just as good as well, and he makes everyone on that flank on the left hand side, he makes them look better. I just think he needs to be there, mate.
How many league games has he played in the United shirt?
Well, that's a good point. Yeah, I know it's not too many, and I know you'll probably say that Cliché's played a lot more in the Premier League, but I think Luke Shaw's already shown that he's going to be a better player than Cliché, but the question is...
That's the key word, I think, because Luke Shaw, I don't know what, in a year's time I'll look ridiculous saying, Cliché better than Luke Shaw, because he's got all that promise. But for me, Gael Clichy, Mr. Consistent, I'll say this now, watch him get himself sent off or something in the derby, but Mr. Consistent, always seems to have a good game, reliable, up the flank, got enough work out to get back. I'm sorry, but I'm thinking Gael Clichy now.
I want to give it Luke Shaw, though, purely because I'm going to let you have right back.
All right.
I'll let you have right back if you give me left back, because Luke Shaw... You know, he's a phenomenal player already as it is, and I think that in 2 months' time we'll be laughing at the even thought of putting Gael Clichy in that team above him.
All right, well, let's go to right back then.
Okay.
So you're going to give me, you're not making a case for Antonio or anyone like that? Or?
I don't think. I think Valencia started very well, but he's not a right back, and Darmian last season proved that he's not quite up to scratch, I don't think.
All right, I want to toss up who do I put in, Sagna or Zabaleta. Zabaleta's given more years of service for the club, but Sagna has just been sublime at the Euros last season, the season before. So I'm putting Sagna in at right back. I'll concede you Luke Shaw at left back. Centre halves, who are you having?
Oh, well, that's an interesting one actually for United, because I feel like, Eric Bailey, if he carries on playing the way he has done, he'd be a shoe in there, but for all I know it could just be good form and he turns absolutely naff in a few weeks. But I think in terms of consistently proving it, I think Chris Smalling is probably our best centre half, especially the way he's played in the Premier League these last 2, maybe even 3 seasons. I think he's been brilliant. I think he's been better than quite a few centre halves that City have been playing. So for me, as long as you give me Chris Smalling in one of them positions, I will be happy.
Well, I'm saying that Vincent Kompany has got to get in there. I think
he's never fit though. He's never fit.
He's never fit, but when he is, he's one of the best centre halves in the world. So I'm putting Vincent Kompany in, and then I'm looking at Chris Smalling. All right, he had a good season. But John Stones, though, has been awesome.
Nah, John Stones didn't have a better year last year than Chris Smalling did.
But let's talk about this season. I know I said about Luke Shaw and that, but now it's my turn.
If we're doing it on this season, then Bailey gets in. So.
All right. I'm going to give you Chris Smalling then. Chris Smalling and Kompany getting in there. Somehow Chris Smalling wriggles his way through. All right, let's get into midfield. Now,
what position? What formation are we going to play?
Well, I think there's so many talented midfielders here. We've got to fit everyone in. We've got to fit in Silva, De Bruyne, Pogba, and all those. So I think we're going to have to go 5 in midfield, but that's going to mean 1 up top, and that's going to start our whole argument at the end.
You mean 2 wingers, so sort of like a 4-3-3?
Yeah, so sort of 4-3-3, 4-5-1.
Cool.
That
that's
4-2.
cool.
So I'm going to put. I think I'd like to see Fernandinho get in there. I'd like to see David Silva get in there, and I think I'll put Silva out on the left if that accommodates. But I'm liking De Bruyne down the middle. So I'm saying those are the 3 that I've got to absolutely get in there.
I think that De Bruyne is a great player. I think Fernandinho is a very underrated player for you guys as well. I think he's great. But Paul Pogba is obviously going to be in that midfield.
Course, sure.
So I feel like he's probably going to take Fernandinho's place in the midfield. Or would you say
well,
Silva or De Bruyne?
I'd say Fernandinho, and I know it sounds ridiculous for a man who picks up so many yellow cards, but he's such a disciplined player and does the job, and we call him the octopus. He just gets everywhere and he sits back and he lets all of our attacking players go forward. I think Fernandinho and Pogba is quite a tidy sort of midfield engine that lets us go a little bit more attacking players. Yeah, you give me that, Fernandinho and Pogba?
I think that I've probably got to, just because all the other centre mids I can pick for United are your likes of, Ander Herrera, who isn't being given a consistent run in the team. Bastian Schweinsteiger is obviously nowhere to be seen, and there's not a chance in hell I'm putting Marouane Fellaini in there as centre midfield either. There's no way that that's happening.
All right,
so I'll let you have that one.
Fernandinho is getting. I know people on Blue Moon Rising are dead popular with Fernandinho. No. But Fernandinho's probably with Blue Moon Rising TV. Now, okay, let's get into it. So I'm putting De Bruyne down the middle and the sort of like 10 roll floating in.
Okay, so is it a 4-2-3-1 that we're doing?
Yeah, I reckon so.
Okay, 4-2-3-1.
4-2-3-1. So I'm putting De Bruyne in down the middle. Any qualms yet?
Oh, Rooney's not going to.
All right.
Yeah, let's get Rooney in there, sod it.
I'm glad I didn't have to explain that one to you. Nice one. Now, left side, I'm going to put Silva. It's not his best one, but you've got to accommodate little David.
I'm not letting David in there.
You know
I don't want David in there. I think that David Silva obviously has been an excellent player over the years. No denying that, but I think Anthony Martial should be there.
Oh, he said it out
loud
in front of a camera that's recording.
I have never been so sure of a player becoming world class than I have been with Anthony Martial, and that is including watching the likes of watching the likes of Ronaldo, watching the likes of Rooney when he was younger. I've never been so sure that a player is going to be classed than Anthony Martial.
But gonna be in a year's time, maybe. But how many Premier Leagues has he won?
Well, that's nonsense though, because I could list you loads of players who have won more Premier Leagues than David Silva who are nowhere near as good of it.
Exactly.
But Anthony Martial, I think, I will argue my case for Anthony Martial, but because it's a City channel, I'm guessing that you lot have the last word on all this.
I gave you the hater. I'm taking it. David Silva's coming in. Anthony Martial.
In this team at the minute.
So loads. It's almost as if we've got a better squad than you. Now, right wing. Are you going?
Nonsense. I think that over the season, Henrik Mkhitaryan will be proven to be our first choice right winger, and I would definitely put him in this team as well. Who is he coming up against?
So I'm going to say, well, I'm surprised you didn't go for Mata, just because of, again, but in a team with De Bruyne and Silva, maybe you don't need Mata's creativity. The only out-and-out right winger we've really got would be Leroy Sané, who's yet to play for City, so I can't really make that case, or Jesus Navas.
We've not talked about Sterling yet.
We've not talked about Sterling, but he's on the left-hand side, and to accommodate both Sterling and De Bruyne into this team, I mean, he comes off the left, comes off the right. I think, do we put Sterling in ahead of Mkhitaryan?
Sterling can't get in above it. I will say this, you know what? I will say this. I think that Sterling has been treated unfairly by the press, I think, by a lot of people. And I think this season he's already shown the signs that he's going to be a much better player. But based on what we've seen last season and the seasons before, Henrik Mkhitaryan has been a much higher standard, in my opinion.
All right, you were very good. You gave me David Silva, so I'm going to give you Mkhitaryan, little Henry getting in there. Now, this is the big one.
Well, there's only one person you can go for this.
I know.
I mean, an icon in football, really.
Of course, Sergio Aguero. The scorer of the most important goal in Premier League football history.
No, it's Zlatan. Look how many goals he scored across his whole career at so many different clubs, proven it at so many different places, won league titles everywhere he's been. You said to me about Anthony Martial saying, oh yeah, he might be better one day, but at the minute, and it's like, and you're saying, how many Premier Leagues he won? Well, how many leagues has Zlatan Ibrahimovic won compared to Aguero? Genuinely, he's a footballing legend. He has to be there as the striker.
Yes, those are all good points. However, he's 39 million years old. He carries a Zimmer frame and he looks like a Romanian magician. So you made some very good points there, you know. But
you know what? I will actually let you have Aguero as long as any United fans who are watching this, make sure you get a little vine, a little 6-second clip of anything that Alex has said today, which is daft and gets proven wrong when we play yous this weekend.
All right, I'll tell you what, I'll bet you a fiver now that Martial and Rashford will be playing mid-table football in a few years' time. But that is the end of the video. Sergio Aguero's getting it up top. So we've got David De Gea in nets, we've got Kompany and Chris Smalling, Bakary Sagna at right back, Luke Shaw at left back, Pogba and Fernandinho, De Bruyne down the middle, David Silva on the left, Henrik Mkhitaryan on the right.
And Zlatan Ibrahimovic up top.
Tell it to Hermione, mate. Now, Sergio Aguero down the middle, up front. Tell you what, mate. Either way, it's a cracking lineup. This derby is shaping up to be an awesome one. Here's hoping we get some goals, get some excitement out of it. This is BlueMoonRisingTV. Gaz is very kindly giving his time from Full Time Devils. Do check them out. They're doing loads of great build up to the derby, and we're over there as well doing some challenges. It's good stuff. But this is BlueMoonRisingTV. Get involved in the comments with your Combined 11. See you next time, Blues.